Good evening, everyone. I want to wish you all, as we get started this evening, a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And of course, if you're here in the United States, we all here in the United States just got done celebrating an absolutely amazing Thanksgiving and Black Friday, and tomorrow we have Cyber Monday. So we are in the midst of this wonderful holiday season that is just getting launched right now. And to me, this is the most exciting time of the year. I'm really, really grateful to be able to be on here this evening. And in spite of all of the holiday stuff that's going on in your lives, all of you have made it here tonight. So I'm really, really excited to see you, and I'm glad you're here. Folks, as we get started and we're waiting for some latecomers to come on, I want to just give a quick overview of how my psychic hour works, because I know there are going to be a lot of new names on here this evening, new people. As you're coming in, I'm seeing all the names here, and most of them I recognize, which is wonderful, because that tells me that I'm still getting a lot of people returning, coming back month after month. And of course, that warms my heart to see you all, because after all these years, I feel like we're friends, that, you know, we meet once a month and we get to connect. My guides, of course, connect with your guides all through the evening. And so for this next hour, we're going to be connecting with all of our guides together. And those of you who are psychically sensitive, I know one of the reasons you come to these psychic hours is because you feel all the wonderful energy that our guides and all the people on the call contribute to this call. This is one of my favorite things to do, and I'm so glad to share it with you. So here's how it goes for the newcomers. And if you are a newcomer, I want to say thank you very much for finding me. And hopefully you're going to swell the group of our wonderful people who meet month after month after month to take a look at what's coming up in our lives. Folks, my guides and your guides, because they're both of them come through during the call, they're pretty amazing, absolutely. I'm really excited to be able to do the work that I do and work with my guides and with you. What they do when they come through, then my guides are astrologers, which is why you see a horary chart here. That's this white circle in the background. So my guides are going to be giving a lot of information that's astrologically based, but when I translate it into English, okay, which is what we do as channels, it basically comes up as information that everybody on the call gets a lot of good insight from. So even if I'm speaking to somebody who's not you, okay, somebody else raised their hand to get called on, please pay attention, because my guides have a way of addressing your question in the middle of somebody else's reading, okay? So even though I'm talking to another person, it doesn't mean it can't also be about you. And in fact, a lot of the things that my guides will come out with, they'll say that if you're an Aries, which means all the Aries on the call, or a Capricorn, or a Cancer, or a Libra, this is for you. And so, of course, you need to perk up your ears and say, okay, Sandy and her guides are talking about me now. So we tend to hit everybody who calls in during the next hour because of the way my guides work. And if you don't get to specifically ask a question of me, I have a policy that if you write me a simple question before 9 p.m. tomorrow evening, Eastern Time, my guide and I will answer that email. And you can send that short email to either Lisa at lisasainc@aol.com, or you can send it to me at the address that's on this site that you come to listen to the webinar. So you can get those questions to me and I will answer them. Now, when Lisa calls on you, or when you're sending your question to me, either way, what I need from you is your first name. I need where you're calling from, because that's always just fun for us all to know. So many people from so many different places call in, and it's exciting to find new people from new places. I also want to know what you're most grateful for in your life right now. Folks, that is so more important than you can possibly imagine. Every single morning, you need to be getting up and saying to yourself, I'm grateful for blah, and renew that. Every time something happens during the day, that's even a negative thing, look at the positive side of it and say, no, I'm grateful it happened that way, or I'm grateful this experience happened for this reason. Find the ability to be positive and to have gratitude for every single thing that happens in your life, because that's going to teach you to transform your thoughts into a positive energy more than ever before. Right now, my friends, we are creating our world right now, this minute. How you feel about things, how you think about things, how you relate to all of the people in your life is focusing your energy into the future you are creating. So adopt an attitude of gratitude. That's my suggestion. So the third thing I want from you is what you're most grateful for right now. After that, I want your sun sign, because armed with your sun sign, my guides can tell you amazing information about yourself. And finally, your simple question. And the reason I say simple is because you're going to get the most accurate answer and the most quickly if you keep that question simple and direct. And it should be a question. If you just say, well, what's happening in my life in the next week or the next month, or tell me something I need to know, my guides aren't going to give you what you want. They're going to tell you some little thing that comes through for them that they think is important, may affect you or not, or they're just going to say, hey, Sandy, tell her to get a reading. Okay, because maybe what you have coming up is too extensive. It's not a simple answer. So keep your question concise, but also direct, okay? And the same thing is true of this evening, and we're going to have a wonderful, wonderful time. So let me just go around and do a little bit of housekeeping here, as I always do when we get started, telling you what's going on in my world right now that you might be interested in. First off, we have an app. Please do make sure that you have the app downloaded on your telephone, your smart device, whatever it is, an iPad, whatever, because if the internet has the problems it's been having lately, in fact, just getting on this evening, I had to completely shut down and reboot. So the internet is not functioning as smoothly as it normally does. And so if you have that app and you can come on and listen to my podcast or my psychic hour here, and you can access all of my programs on the app as well. So the app is going to protect you by allowing you to come on directly without having to go through the internet. So do download that app. Also, I want to talk to people for a moment. We have a community, and so those of you who are new may not know that we have an open community. As soon as you signed up on my website so that you could register for this webinar, you also got access to your own very private library on my site. So if you click the tab on my website that says library, you are going to find in your library a little site, a little page that says open community. So you already have that just by signing up, you got that. And that open community, if you click that tab, is going to take you to a place that you are going to be able to communicate with everybody who's here this evening. You could say, gee, I like that, or gee, I was mad at Sandy, she missed me, or, you know, I want to ask her such and such next time. Well, guess what? Right now, one of our members here that shows up every month, Jody, has posted something that she created. This is on her YouTube channel, and it's private just for us. So this is actually not on her YouTube channel, but she does have a YouTube channel. This one's a private one that she posted. What she does is she translates, she has equipment that she uses for doing this, and she translates the vibration of a plant into beautiful meditation music. And just for me and for you, on our open community, she has posted a music from a giant sequoia. So one of the first things you can do in that community is go and listen to that meditation music. It's truly beautiful. I use it a lot myself. Jody, I don't know if you're here this evening. Thank you, thank you, thank you once again for posting that. I appreciate it. And I think all of our members here, or I should say, our people here on our call this evening definitely are going to appreciate it too. Now, the next thing I want to mention is my What's Happening in 2024 webinar. Of course, back on November 16th, I did that webinar live. I know a lot of you, a whole lot of you here tonight actually did come to that webinar. I recognize names, but there are some people who couldn't come. and for whatever reason you didn't get the recording, that recording is now available to purchase on my website. It's only $25. I really, really encourage you to get it because it was phenomenal, and it's going to give you a lot of insight into all of 2024, both by your personal issues and things from your sun sign, as well as what's going on in the world and in your country, wherever you may live. So this is a good thing for you to have. When you download it, it's going to be fully downloadable onto your computer. So you're going to be able to have a link and then download it, and you're going to love being able to listen to it over and over again all year long during 2024. This over here, don't forget your psychic development program. The Anastasi system of psychic development will begin January 24th. Please, 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 if you're on the fence about it, don't waste time, sign up. I'll talk more about that in a moment. VIPs, I know there are a lot of you who are on here this evening. Your next coaching call with me is January 25th, and that's 7 p.m. So write it down, remember it. You get 4 of those a year with me, and don't miss it, okay? It's going to be awesome. Also, all of you here tonight, please write down your next psychic hour will be January 28th. So yes, tonight, not only is it just coming into the full moon, but we are also having our very last psychic hour of 2023. How special is that? And you are all with me this evening. That is so special to me. Thank you. So here are my specials. Remember, this being November 26th.
I'm sorry, I need to interrupt.
Go ahead.
We do have a psychic hour in December.
You know, you're right.
You had moved it to December the 10th.
Okay, thank you, thank you. I'm
so
lying
sorry.
to you folks.
My
This
fault.
is not our last. Thank you, Lisa. I'm changing this. I thought I had, you know, Lisa always checks these things for me before I get started. And so this was news to me and to her, because apparently you missed something, Lisa. You never miss anything. You missed that. At any rate, I'm glad you caught it now. Folks, this is not our last psychic hour of the year. We have one more to go. And what's amazing is that that's going to be on December 10th. So it's only about 2.5 weeks from now. I didn't want to put it too close to Christmas, because I know once we get into that Christmas season, you know, shopping season, that 2 weeks before Christmas, life is so crazy. So we're going to have that on December 10th. And now you also have the date for January's first psychic hour as well. So keep them both. And remember, do register for them early, because, you know, so far I haven't filled up on the GoToMeeting site, but there is a ceiling to the number of people I can have here. So do sign up early. That assures you that you're going to get a spot. Lisa, thank you. I really appreciate that you caught that. We had a bunch of people, I'm sure, scratching their head and saying, what about December? Sandy skipped.
Well, and I know where the mistake was, because you had asked me today what the date is for January.
Yeah, right.
So I gave you the date for January. I never even thought about December. So my fault, my apologies. And it should be 12/10/23.
Yes. Okay, so we're good now. I got it right. Oh, it's 23. Thank you. Now I have it right. Yeah. Yes. Yes, yes.
Everything is perfect.
Thank you. Okay, folks. Now let me talk about my specials. And Lisa, please pay attention in case I got some of these wrong too. Okay, we're not done with November yet, folks. We are only here November 26th. So you actually have another 5 days to be able to register for these. So I left them in. My year at a glance reading for 2024 is back. Of course, you know that. A lot of you signed up last month for it. It's only $300. Sign up now. I want to make an extra special point that I only have a limited number of spaces available for that reading. And Lisa, are we filled up yet? Do we have any spaces left? We're filling up so fast that I don't know how long I'm going to be able to offer that.
I am now booking into February.
Okay.
So that's all we have left, is just the few readings in February.
So folks, if you want to, and I'm not making this up, this is real. This is not a marketing scarcity thing. This is real. If you want to get the year at a glance reading, you've got the inside scoop on it. You can't wait until January to get it. You can't even wait until, I don't think, until December to get it. I think by the end of this month, all those spaces are going to be filled. Right now, it's still on the calendar through December, but as soon as those spaces are filled, we'll be taking it off the calendar. So I don't know if I'll actually include it or not when the newsletter goes out. So if you want it, please sign up for the year at a glance reading. What I do in that reading is I cast a chart, very special chart, that takes you month by month by month through the entire year. And it focuses on what kinds of issues you're going to be dealing with each month. So it gives you an opportunity to really plan your year out. And, you know, it's not, what can I say? It's not perfection, nothing is, but it helps to get you into a much, much better, not just a state of mind, but better preparation to handle whatever comes up during the year. So, you know, is there a particular month that you need to watch your finances? Okay, you've got forewarning to do that. Is there another month that you're probably going to be making a really large purchase? Well, yeah, you're going to know that in advance too. So the thing is that you can know about a lot of these things. You know, is there a time when there's going to be something coming up with one of your children that you're going to really be needing to focus on? Wouldn't it be nice to know that in advance? Okay, so I can tell you all of that in the year at a glance reading, and that's the reason why people come back year after year. A lot of people only see me once a year, and that's the reading that they get. But you see, there's just no point in doing the year at a glance reading once we get past February, because we're too far into the year. At that point, we'll already have lost the first 2 months. So I only book them up through the end of February, and right now we're already into February with the booking. So there's not a lot of spaces left. So if that interests you, make sure you sign up for it. My VIP drive for my VIP membership is still going on. It'll be going on still this month, and then December is the last month. How that works is that when you join at the full auto renew price, and this month I'm giving out gifts each month when you join. This month my gift is an MP4 webinar. It's called What's on the Other Side. And that webinar is not available for any price anywhere unless you buy the entire program that it's a part of. And so this is the only way you're going to get it all by itself. And it's about an hour-and-a-half long webinar that talks about all the kinds of things you will find on the other side. If you're a VIP and you just want to buy it, you can. It's $10. Everybody else, you can't buy it. And once we get past November, VIPs can't buy it either. It's going to be just, you know, no longer available. It'll be back to being only within the program that it is part of. So we have 5 more days to go on that. My third special, my psychic development class is open for early enrollment right now. The regular price on my psychic development class is $3,000. Folks, that sounds like a lot of money. I want to just address that for a moment. It's not, okay? How much money do you pay for your college education or your children's college education? 100,000, 150,000? Folks, my psychic development program is the equivalent of a college level program in psychic development. As many people who've taken that program will say, there's nothing else like it anywhere. Most of the very well-known psychics in the world right now have either studied the Anastasi system or they've studied with somebody who took it at some point. The system's been around right now for well over 30 years. It's morphed, it's grown, it's become much more professional and inclusive. It's a fabulous, fabulous opportunity to get a complete education to develop your psychic skills, your psychic abilities, everything from your telepathy to your empathy, to if you want to go pro, to becoming a channel or a medium or a professional future-oriented psychic. The ceiling is off. There is no limit to what you can do as you go through that program. And we do have a lot of people here on the call who have actually taken that program. And you know, if you ask any of them, or if you ask people in our open community, what do you think of it? You'll get real, definite, solid information. So check it out. And if you're sitting on the fence about it, don't, because right now I'm still in my early enrollment period. And if you pay just $2,225, that's a whole lot less than $3,000, folks. You're getting almost a whole class and a half, and each class is 3 sessions long. So you're getting almost 4.5 sessions that are free of that class by getting the discounted price. So if you pay for it, $2,225, either in one payment, or because of it being the season and because I'm good-hearted, you can do 3 payments of only $741.67 over the next 3 months. And by the way, repeating students, I let people come back and take that program again, because every time they go through it, they get better and better at what they're doing. They hone their skills. So repeating students only pay $1,500. That's the actual best deal. But for people who have not taken it before, this early enrollment is the best. I'm only going to be running the early enrollment special until December 31st. This month, I will let you pay in 3 months or in 3 payments. There's nothing added on for that, okay? Nothing added on. It's just 3 payments instead of 1 if you want to do it that way. As long as that last payment reaches me before the first class starts, we're good. In December, more specials. These come in starting December 1st. Last chance to become a VIP, different gift, 12 ways to open your own gifts webinar. Same thing, it's open only for December. Once we're gone with December, I take that gift away. It won't be available anywhere anymore until next year, next December, if then. This year's VIP drive will end December 31st. Again, the Psychic Development Early Enrollment, it ends December 31st. And now in December, if you want to join a payment plan that we have, only 2 payments. So that would be $1,112.50 for 2 months. Again, repeating students are only $1,500. That special is gone December 31st. Also, people who have the early enrollment do get bonuses and perks that are also going to go away on December 31st. So if you're sitting on the fence about taking this class, do it now. If you are really in a hole and you just don't have the money to do it right now, but you know you have to do it right now, talk to Lisa. We'll work with you. But this is the plan. This is the plan. My year at a glance reading, okay, is also only going to go up to, once we get to December 31st, it's going to be gone. The spaces will be gone. Right now, it's only $300. Finally, only available in December, my reading and coaching package special comes out only once a year. 6 sessions, a half an hour each, will only be $1,500. Normally, the cost for those 6 sessions in the coaching package would be $1,800. What makes the reading and coaching package different from getting just a reading? When you work with me and you get those 6 sessions, we actually make headway. We work through your problems, your issues. This is my guide to coaching you. And the reason I call it a reading coaching package, it's actually coaching. There's no doubt about it. It is life coaching in whatever area of life you need that assistance. And all of us do at some point in time. We all do. Some of us need it all of our lives. Some of us only need it for one issue in our lives, but at some point in our lives, all of us need that help. My guides are famous for being able to do that, to work with you, to get you over those humps, through those issues, and to help you to create the best life for yourself that you want. And we can focus on any area, whether it's business, whether it's your personal world, whether it's relationships. We can focus specifically on what you need to work through. So, and by the way, you can book those at any time throughout the year. Okay, it's not like, wow, you have to do them within a 1 month or 3 month period. You can set them up however you want. So there is a discount here, even if you were looking at it as regular readings. By getting this package at $1,500, you're basically getting a reading free, even if you were looking at them as basic readings. So it's well worth doing, even if you just wanted to handle them as readings. But honestly, when you get multiple readings with me like this, you're getting coached by Sandy Anastasi's guides. That's something that's, I have to tell you folks, my guides are amazing, and that is something that isn't available anywhere else. That's a fabulous opportunity. So armed with that, Lisa, I've taken a little bit more time than usual to go through things, so we'll go over time a little bit this evening because I want to make sure that we give you all the people who have given their time to me, I want to give my time back to. So let's begin.
All righty, our first person tonight, if I can find her again, is Nancy H.
Hello, Nancy. Are you there?
I am. Hi. Thanks for
Hi
having me and
there.
thanks for being here.
Thank you.
I'm Nancy from Seattle. I'm most grateful for my youngest grandson who's 3. And what am I supposed to know right now?
Okay, you need to give me your sun sign.
Oh, I'm Pisces.
Okay, so you're Nancy the Pisces from Seattle. And is it cold out there, Nancy?
It is. I'm shivering.
Oh my goodness. Time to turn that heater up, and maybe if you have a fireplace, put an extra log on, you know? Okay. That's pretty, I live in Florida, so to me that's really that's the end of the earth. But it's still beautiful. Nancy, here as a Pisces, here you are. If you can see my cursor moving up here, you're up here in the 8th house for the chart. And that would tell me that if you, and this isn't just for you, if you are a Pisces like Nancy, if you're a Virgo, if you're a Gemini, or if you're a Sagittarius, folks, you have got finances on mind in a big way. Nancy, since Saturn is right here in this house, and you are the Pisces, I would say that right now, even though it's Christmas season and you want to spend lots of money and you want to give that grandson lots and lots of good stuff, give him a lot of love, less stuff, okay? This is a time when it's important for you to kind of watch the pocketbook and take care of your finances. Watch what's going on with the banks and the banking system. I want to just show you something that's interesting. Not only is Saturn rules in astrology structure, all the structures, all the physical things that are built come out of Saturn. And Neptune over here, it's in the next house, but it's also in Pisces. So your sun sign is straddling both houses. It's straddling the 8th house, which is that house of money, other people's money, like banks and attorneys and big business and government and all that good stuff. The 9th house has to do with travel, moves, changes of residence. Neptune's here also in Pisces, and this little guy is retrograde. So there may very well be a place that you're thinking of visiting or moving to that you thought about before, and things that are going on in your world right now might be making you think more solidly about that, okay? We also, I want to show you there's a square aspect over here that's a hard aspect to the moon. So there could very well be some issues with friends, or if you have children, a second child, and that person could also be having financial issues. And there's also another square down here to Mars and the Sun, which are in Sagittarius in the 5th house. So guess what? That's a first child. That's also, if you're not married, that could be a lover. It could also be a thing that you're involved with as an entrepreneur, something which is very creative and enjoyable that you've been putting a lot of energy into. But you see, all these things I'm talking about are draining your pocketbook. In a T-square, which is what that is, the energy comes out into the opposing house from the center of that square that I talked about. So all that energy is coming out into the 2nd house and the 3rd house, which talks about time to go back to school, time to get a foundation education in something, time to spend some time with the siblings, sisters and brothers, maybe offer help to one or more of them if they need that. Also time to really look at your own life financially, get your own ducks in a row. If you're starting a business right now, that could be a good time to do it, but it would be a little bit on a shoestring. You have to really get those finances in order. And also really what do I want to be when I grow up? What am I going to do? How can I take all of these wonderful creative skills that I have, all these things I've been putting time and energy into, and maybe make some money with it, okay? And even I don't know if you've done any psychic work, but with Neptune here in Pisces, that's entirely possible. It could be, gee, I've got this whole big, metaphysical business here that I would love to get moving. How do I get it going? Okay, how am I doing so far?
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Okay, and it should make some sense to all, again, of the Pisces, the Virgos, the Geminis, and the Sagittarians on the call this evening. Okay, that's why my guides handle it that way. Now, what is your specific question?
Well, I guess what do I need to know right now? But I think you've kind of answered it in what you said.
And I just get to, when you have a question, what do I need to know right now? Folks, that requires a half an hour reading with Sandy, because there are so many things you need to know right now. But in this moment, okay, my guides are saying, I told you one card, I got the Magician, okay, right side up, and that talks about your sense of self. If you're married, it also includes your partner in life, your partner's sense of self. It says, get it straight. You can do it and be empowered. Find your own power. For some of us, remember, you're working on all these things that are going to help you to get yourself started, developing your own abilities, your own skills. Put time and effort into you right now. And that's going to come back to you in spades, because you can't give to the world the way you want to give to the world unless you have given to yourself first. You see, you've got to allow yourself to be strong, to be creative, and you've got to have that ego-centered quality. I'm not saying being egotistical, ego-centered, to recognize, yes, 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 I can do it. So whatever it is that you are about to embark upon, my guides just said, you have the power to do it. You've just been doing that Pisces thing and saying, oh, but can I really? Okay. And my guides are saying, right now you got to chuck that whole Pisces routine, and you've got to stand up strong, throw your chest out, say, of course I can do it. I have the skill, I have the knowledge, I have the tools, I can make this happen. That's what you need to know right now.
Thank you. You be well, Sandy.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
a wonderful holiday season. And Lisa, who is next on our list?
Okay, the next person is going to be Samantha. Samantha, can you unmute?
Hi, Lisa. Hi, Sandy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you this evening?
Doing very well. So I'm calling from St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh boy.
I'm grateful. Yeah, it's a little chilly. I'm grateful for the animals in my life. They're keeping me warm and snug, and they're healthy, and I'm so happy to have animals around me. And I'm also a Virgo, so I appreciate the previous message. So I'm going to
Mhm.
make mine real simple. I'm an inventor of products, consumer products, and I've been working on 3 of them right now that I have on deck. And there's a pretty big company, most of us have heard of it, as seen on TV. And I have an opportunity to pitch one of 3 products or all 3 to them. So I'm just wondering if your guides can pick up number 1, 2, or 3, or none, that I should prepare to pitch to as seen on TV.
Okay, the first thing and I'm not going to go through the whole stuff I just gave you, because
Yes.
I want to see if I can get a few more people in this evening, and that'll allow me to have more time. And all of you mutable signs just kind of got the overview. So relative to what you were just saying, first of all, I'm really grateful that you're an inventor, because the transits that are happening for you mutable signs, Virgos especially, are wonderful for things like promoting your own products, okay, starting a business, being an inventor. So the timing is very good on this. I don't know if your product has anything to do, or one of them has anything to do with education or communications, but that one has got tremendous promise based upon the chart itself, the Horary chart. Now, the only one that is not really going to be good right now, maybe has potential in the future, but right now, is product number 2. Okay. That one I would just put at the bottom of the list and maybe get back to it another time. The one that I see that you really have the most kind of the most joy in is product number one. That's the one that you've invested in. And my guides are saying that that has tremendous potential, but right now you have to play a waiting game. Product number three is the one that has the potential to actually bring you some money in right now. The one problem with that, there's always a problem with something. The one problem with that is that you're going to have to invest money to get money out. Okay, but
Right.
you will be able to make money with that. One other thing I want to show you about this that's kind of important too. In the square, the T-square that we were just talking about before, there are personal dynamics that are important. And I have to emphasize, number one, you cannot see, I'm going to say, I hate to be like this, but secrecy is of
That's
the
okay.
utmost important, you know, and you're aware of that as an inventor, that secrecy is important, but I'm telling you, super secrecy is important, because this is the kind of thing where, you know, these people might actually tell you, yeah, we're interested, and you start to give them everything. And folks, you're going to need to know this right now. We are not living in the same world that we were, you know, 5 years, 10 years ago. And there are a lot of people out there who are getting over. And unfortunately, in the world that you're, you know, selling your inventions in, this is very much the case. And so until money actually changes hands, until there is a contract, you can't give them everything. You can tell them what it does. That's about it. Okay.
That's
So
very
you know,
interesting. No, that's a good point. I appreciate that. There is some of that
and right.
element in this industry. Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. But with this particular, it's very possible.
Yep. And remember
Interesting.
something else here. This Saturn over here is also about legal issues. You make sure that before you sign any contract, you have your own attorney review it.
Yes.
Okay.
Excellent.
Don't you love when my guides are giving those kinds of hints?
No,
And
it's good stuff, man. I love it. Thank you so
yeah,
much. Thank you.
you're very, very welcome. Good luck with this. It sounds very exciting.
Thank you.
And Lisa, who is next on our list?
Our third person tonight. I keep losing these names after I write them down. Irina, I hope I said that right. Irina, can you unmute yourself?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Irina. And you know, I'm so excited because I think this is the first time we've had a psychic hour in a long time, and I hope I'm not jinxing this, that everybody's mic is working. This is exciting. So good. Irina,
Hi.
where are you calling from?
I'm calling in from Costa Rica, and I'm grateful for that I can choose the place to live where I am living right now. And I am originally my sign is Capricorn, I think, yeah.
Okay.
But I'm from Russia, and right now there is like, stuff going on. And I would like to know if you guys can tell me if it's gonna be continuing 2024. What's actually gonna happen in Russia?
Irina, I've got to tell you, if this is really important, because it's going to go into it far more deeply than I can right now. When I said at the beginning of our session that you need to get that what's happening in 2024, you need to get it. It's an MP4. It was a live webinar like this one, only it's much more comprehensive. The whole thing is on what's going on in the world in 2024. You need to get that and listen to it. Okay.
Okay. I got it. I already listened to it. Yeah, I just want kind of if you can give me more specific if Putin's still gonna be in power in 2024. Maybe
You know,
that's
my
it.
guides don't think he is. That's going to be
Oh.
an interesting thing in and of itself. But the whole, as we go through 2024, my guides are telling me that, oh God, here we go into a worldwide thing I wasn't planning on, but the download just came. Did you feel it, folks? It just hit like a lead bullet. the thing is that we're going to be living in a different world by the time we get to the end of 2024. 2023 and 24 are these times of transition. 2023 was bringing us to a critical mass, which you're all feeling right now all over the world. 2024 is going to be little by little, I'm getting the image, unweaving the basket, unweaving it. So all of the things that have been blocking literally mankind's growth, your own individual growth, your family's growth, the growth of your community, your nation, the things that are blocking our growth are being unwound and taken away. And the people that aren't supporting moving in a new direction that's going to be healthy for their populations, those people either won't be in those positions anywhere, not just in Russia, but anywhere, or they will have changed the position, which is what I've been hearing about Putin, which is interesting. They'll have changed the position so that it no longer has that same power that it had before. So basically the whole world structure is going to change. It's having to do with the legal system, the banking system, the government system, the finances, the money that you use, you name it, it's changing. Everything is. And the important thing, this is why gratitude is so very, very important. Folks, right now, and I know you guys can feel it, right now more than ever before, you must maintain positivity. You must maintain your feeling of gratefulness for all the good things in your life. And the things that you don't want, you need to take your attention away from. You need to stop feeding the alligator, okay? You need to put your attention on the things that bring joy. Put your attention on the things that are positive in your world, in your life. And by doing this, folks, you are a magician. You are a creator. All of us, not just Sandy, not just the people in my psychic development classes, we human beings are creators. We have the capacity to create a new world, the dynamics of a new, literally a new everything that works together, that flows, that gives everyone in our world what we want. But we have to stop feeding the negatives and feed the positives. And that can be a very hard thing to do. Even when you're dealing with something in your life that's bad, while you're dealing with it and taking care of it, your attention needs to be on the good thing that you really want to be doing, that you really want to be experiencing and sharing. So back to what you said, my guides, and I asked it 3 times now, my guides feel that Putin will not be in power by the end of 2024. Now, I don't know if that means that he's completely gone from government or if he's occupying a different position, but the same situation, the same way that he is moving through the world with his political position right now, he will not be. It will have shifted. Everything will have shifted, folks. Everything, everywhere. And don't be frightened of that. It's going to be a good thing. I can promise you that. It's going to be good. It's going to relieve a lot of pressure from everyone, everywhere.
Thank you,
Okay?
Sandy. Thank
You're
you.
very welcome. Very, very welcome. And I do want to talk for a minute about the astrology here because I haven't mentioned Capricorn, Aries, Libra, and Cancer are all part of the cardinal axis that you're on. And so even though you're talking about being in Costa Rica and you're concerned about the political situation, which makes sense because Capricorn rules politics, this Pluto here is in your 7th house. And so you are also very, very concerned about personal relationships. And Pluto is a power planet. There are power struggles either within your relationship, your most important primary relationship, or there are power struggles in the space around you that are affecting your primary relationship. And that's very important. Now, the good part about that is that there's another T-square here. Remember, there's a square to Aries. There's another square to Libra, right? And this has caused you to change where you're living. That's the 4th house. It's caused you to change what you do for a living. That's the 10th house. And it's caused you to really stand up and find out, wow, I'm a pretty powerful person. There's a whole lot I can do. I can make life happen the way I need to make it happen. And you yourself are going through a personal transformation right now that is very, very amazing and is going to lead you to very good things. So this is a good time for you, even though it doesn't always appear that way. Okay, and if you're a cardinal sign, folks, you're going to be focusing on relationships. You're going to be focusing on family issues. You're going to be focusing on career issues. There's healing coming to all of those things, not just through 2024, but right now through this holiday season to come. Okay. Did I
Thank
answer
you,
your
thank
question?
you. Yes, yes. I am actually start learning tarot, so cards. I'm trying to get my energy up, like my vibration up. So yeah,
Yeah,
this is
very
very
good.
interesting for me. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing I should mention, folks. Right now, there is stress. I don't have to tell you this. There's stress in the world. When you go out to shop, when you go out to dinner, even when you go out to your church or a community organization that you belong to, you're surrounded by people who are all in stressful situations. And folks, we're all empaths. All of us are. So we're all picking up and feeling the stress and the tension of other people. And when we're around other people who maybe don't know as much about how energy works as we do, it's easy for those energies, for those people who are negative to pull us down. So you're going to need to start being more aware of surrounding yourself with the people who feel good to be around, the people who are upbeat, the people who are still maintaining a positive attitude. You see? And that is going to help you a whole lot when you start to do that. Be aware. This may no longer be the time to keep helping the negative people in your world. Now's the time for you to pay attention to yourself, do what you need to do to make you feel happy and healthy, and then you can spread that to your family. Okay. And if people are really negative or they're argumentative or those are just the people you just don't want to associate for the moment. You can go back to them later on, but right now they're not healthy for you to be around. Okay. That's going to help
Sounds
you a lot.
sounds very good. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
You have a wonderful rest of the week coming up and a good holiday season.
Thank you. You as well. Thank you.
Thank you. And Lisa, who's our next person?
All righty. The next person is going to be Anya. Anya, you're unmuted.
Hi, this is
Hi
Anya.
there,
Can you hear
Anya.
me?
Yes, I do. I hear you loud and clear.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It's my very first psychic hour with you, and I became a VIP member just a few days ago. So
Congratulations. I think you're going to love
thank
it.
you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm already loving it. I am from San Diego, and I'm most grateful for right now for my two kitties that are healthy. I mean, they're not very healthy, but currently they are doing better. So I'm very, very thankful for that. And my sun sign is Aries, ascendant Gemini, and moon Cancer, just in case.
Uh-huh.
And my question is relating to, I guess, career or fulfillment. I haven't. I left my previous job due to being burned out, and so I'm looking for a new one currently, and I would like to ask if there's any guidance on maybe area in which I should be going, or I mean, I'll leave it open like this. If you have more
Yeah,
specific
one of the
questions, I
things,
can.
I don't know how excited you are about staying in San Diego. I think that's where you said you were.
Yes,
But here's Aries right up here on the midheaven of the chart. And you said you were interested in career. That makes sense because this is the career house that Aries is in. You have a natural gift as a healer. I don't know if you've ever done anything in the health field at all, but anything
Reiki.
is in
I
the
am a
health
Reiki
field is
master.
always good for you. And that could be
Okay.
directly, hands-on work, or it could be working in the clerical office. It doesn't matter. It's like anything connected to healing works for you. But what's interesting is half of the sign is in that house that says make a move, make a move. And this isn't just a move of job, it's a physical move. So your best place to find work that you're going to find enjoyable may not be in San Diego. How open are you to making a physical move? Are you capable of doing that?
Not at the moment, unfortunately.
Yeah, because that's where you're going to be happiest. Okay. Is there a place that you have gone back to or been in the past or lived in the past? Because my feeling is that there's healing. It's almost like you went to where you are right now because you needed to be there for some healing to happen. Okay. And that's done. Now you need to go back either to the place you were before or to some place that you had envisioned yourself before. And that's where you're actually going to be able to make your career flourish, to bring it to a pinnacle of success. Okay. Now, will you be able to find the career, the work that you want, living where you are at? And, you know, I hate to be this way, but I'm also going to be honest with you. My guides say they don't think so. So, you know, you said you left what you were doing because of burnout. And I'm going to say, I think that part of that burnout was also because of where you were working, you know, the physical locality itself. I'm just, now I don't know anything about San Diego, I think you said you were in, but my feeling is maybe because it's close to the border in California, or maybe just because there's so much stuff going on in the world, maybe, but that particular area that you're in feels like, you know, it's just very, very stressful to be there. It's not a calm place. I think you would do better in a maybe closer to home and family, okay, or closer to somebody that you have a relationship with and their home and family, but where you have a place to retreat. You would also do well right now if you can do it, getting a job where you are working from home, where you don't have to fight the traffic, where you don't have to fight the crowds or the negativity or whatever else happens to be going on. Am I making sense to you?
Yes, actually, the work from home part definitely resonates because that's what I'm looking for. Even though I'm living in San Diego, I'm open to working anywhere, really.
Yeah, and that's possible that that could get you out of San Diego, because if you were able to work online, and you need to look at companies that hire people online, because if you were able to work online, from working online, you would be able to connect with people and maybe find a different place through a partner, through a friend that you could move to, that would be better for your whole family. It feels like that place is just not a healthy place for you right now.
Interesting. Okay.
And you know, that's not to say, I hope I'm not insulting other people from San Diego. Somebody else might be thriving in that energy. It's not necessarily that the place itself is bad, but it's not a place that's conducive to your being able to get out there and function at your peak performance. It's almost like, you know, by the time you're done fighting your way through the day, there's nothing left of you to come home, you see? And that's not that way every place. So it's not just the job that gave you that experience. It was also, i.e., the kind of work that you were doing, but also the location that you were doing that work in. That same work in another locality wouldn't have felt like that. It would have been different.
I see. Well, the job that I had, that I left, was in San Diego. So maybe that's, so if I'll look for a job outside of San Diego, but still working remotely,
look for a job that's in the suburbs, okay? Or look for a job where you're working from home. Look for something that you have done before that you enjoyed doing. There's got to be a, I enjoy doing this kind of work thing, okay? And it also, whatever you do, it needs to allow you more family time. My guides are saying when that was part of the burnout, you had no time to yourself. I suspect that, you know, all of your time was being spent commuting in a car, okay? You need to be in a situation where you can have a life.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
That's to the point.
And by the way, are you married or living with someone?
I'm living with someone.
Okay, because your partner has been on you and telling you, you need to do blah, you need to do blah, will you please listen? Okay.
So listen to him?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Well, he's been telling me not to work. He's been telling me just to enjoy myself.
Well, then maybe that's what you need to be doing right now. And maybe that
Okay.
will give you the ability, if you're not losing your life to commuting and to dealing with people that are creating commotion and constantly distracting you from those things that you really should be doing with your life,
Hmm.
maybe on your own, you will discover that creativity within yourself that's going to let you become an entrepreneur where you will be able to work on your own, which you're capable of, from home, either doing something and creating something that you like, or maybe working as a coach or a counselor with the tools and the skills that you have, maybe teaching. The thing is, you have all kinds of things you could be doing. You're not a one-trick person. You have multiple talents and abilities, but
Hmm.
you get so embroiled in that work routine that you're just not capable of even thinking about starting something of your own. You're not even capable of that. So I
Hmm.
think if you listen to him, you will at least have the time to be able to invest in yourself and figure out what it is that you want to be doing. And I do think ultimately you'll be either working online or you and he will have moved someplace else, just will no longer be in San Diego, and that'll solve a lot of your problems.
Interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
and
Wow.
and you fight each other. It's part of your relationship. He fights you, you fight him. Listen to
Mm,
each other. You have each other's best interests in mind, and you both have good ideas about what the other is going to benefit from. Okay.
yeah. Yeah. No, we rarely fight actually.
No, that fighting has all its forms. Resistance, think of resistance. Stop
Ah, that
resisting.
okay. Yes, you're right there on one point. I do resist.
And
Okay.
good luck to you. Okay, I think you're
Thank
going
you
to do
so much,
very well
Sandy.
once you start to allow yourself to flow with what you're supposed to be doing instead of pushing your way through to do what you think you have to do. Okay?
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you so much, Sandy. Have a wonderful
You
day. I appreciate it.
too. You too. Okay, Lisa, who's next?
Our next person's going to be Francis.
Hello there, Francis.
You unmute. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
I can, Francis, loud and clear.
Sorry about that. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, so I have to say what I'm grateful for and my star sign, all that sun sign, I mean.
Yes.
Okay, I'm an Aquarius and
Uh-huh.
I'm grateful that I am healing and I feel like I'm opening up more to my higher self, my intuition and things like that are getting stronger.
Awesome. Now,
Yeah.
and let me just show you a little bit about what's going on for Aquarius. This is great because we talked about the mutable signs first, then we talked about the cardinal signs, and Aquarius is a fixed sign. So now we're going to talk about all the fixed signs. As you're an Aquarian, you're still interested in relationships. That's a big thing on your mind right now because most of the sun sign, or at least half of it, is in the seventh house of relationships. But you're also very concerned with finances and money and where the future is going to go in that sense and how things are being handled and where the money is going to come from for a particular thing that you either need or want to do. Now, also in the fixed signs right now is Jupiter, which is in Taurus, and Uranus in Taurus up here in the 10th house. So there's friction between those signs. You may be either in a job that you don't like, or your husband may be, or you're in a situation which you are just feeling pressure, that it's time to make a change, but you're not sure what change to make. And I think if you're any one of the fixed signs, which again, Aquarius, Taurus, and Scorpio is another one, and the last one is Leo. So Scorpio is over here in the 5th house cusp. And so you're interested in concern with family matters, with family, particularly your oldest child, but also other family members. And we also have, what can I do? And here again, Leo is on the 1st house, 2nd house. It bridges those two houses. It's like, what can I do to bring in more money? What can I do that's going to develop my talents and my skills, perhaps in the intuitive area, that's going to be able to let me take that next step to solve some of these financial problems that we are dealing with in our relationship and as a family. How am I doing?
You're pretty spot on.
Okay. Now, what's your specific question?
So, it's funny that you said about myself or my husband unhappy in a job. So my husband is a Taurus, so he's also a fixed sign, and he's very unhappy with his job,
Yeah.
um, and he needs to make a change. But you're absolutely right. I'm trying to figure out how. I've been a stay-at-home mom, but I'm trying to figure out how to get back in the workforce and what I should do. I can't really quite figure it out. And I've been out of the workforce a long time, so it's scary to think about going back. But also, I guess my question, my husband has had some health issues, and I guess I just wanted to know, is he on the right path? Or he's really doing everything he can, but I wonder if there's anything else he needs to do or any insight you can give us into his.
I think you've got a bunch of questions there you ask, but the first thing about your husband, he needs to get a second opinion on
Okay.
whatever's been bothering him. I think that a whole lot of what he's dealing with is stress, and it probably is related to the job, and it's affecting things like his eyes and his body systems. And of course, those things are hard to diagnose because they tend to look like other things. He needs a second opinion. Apparently, where he's going right now, they're lumping him in with a bunch of other people. They need to look at him as an individual. Okay.
Okay.
Back to you, as far as that job is concerned, before you were a stay-at-home mom, before you became that mom, what was it that you were doing? If you had aspirations to be something, to have a career, what were those aspirations? Because that's what you need to go back to what you were doing or what you had aspired to do and use that as the stepping stone. You're a fabulous communicator, and you need to be in a position where you're working with people and where you're using communication skills, and you need to start in the past and build on what you were doing.
Okay. That makes sense. So I was a graphic designer before, but I always kind of had a flair for coming up with unique ideas, but I don't always follow through with them. But I come up with good ideas, and I can communicate well. You're right. I just don't know where to begin to get back. I know once I get in somewhere, I'll be fine, but it's just after being away for so long, it's just
Okay, so
daunting.
the key here is to look up somebody you know or knew from when you were in graphic design and ask who's hiring where.
Hmm.
And that's your foot in the door to go back into what you were before. Graphic design moves so quickly, you're going to maybe have to pick up a little more knowledge to be able to do it, and that'll be good. You certainly can do it. You're very, you're the jack of all trades. You pick things up very, very quickly, and you'll be able to use that position as a stepping stone to go almost anywhere you want.
Okay. The thing about going back and learning again, I kind of felt like I don't want to do that. But I just want to do something that utilizes my creativity. As long as it's something creative, I would like that.
Well, the question you need to ask yourself is, do you want to bring money in now, or do you want to bring money in 5 years from now?
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Now, obviously.
Okay. And Lisa, I'm going to ask you who's the next person because I want to try and fit somebody else in. Thank you so very much and good luck to you.
Thank you, Sandy. Bye-bye.
You're welcome.
All righty. Excuse me. Our next person is going to be Lauren. Lauren, you're unmuted. Can you unmute yourself?
Hello.
Hi
Um,
there.
my name's Lauren. I am from San Antonio, Texas, and I am grateful for safe travels from the Thanksgiving week I had and back home. And I'm an Aries.
Okay.
So my question is, I left my current doctoral program because it didn't really align with me, and I'm trying to transfer universities. So I applied to 14 different schools this application season, and I wanted to know how that was going to go.
It's going to go well. It's like you're going to be able to take your pick. I think you're going to get several okays. People are going to want you. So I think you're going to do quite well with that. And I feel like what happened with the transition to getting out of what you were going towards and moving into a different university or different program, it's ideal. You're going to end up exactly where you need to be. You're going to be able to look back at that and say, I'm so glad that happened. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of healing in what you're doing here. I think that it's not that what you were doing was bad. It's that it was high pressure, and it was you weren't being permitted to bring your own intelligence into it.
Yeah, that's definitely how it felt. It just like I know it's the right field, it's just the place didn't align.
No, it was almost like they wanted you to be a talking puppet, and you're not cut out that way. You have a brain, aren't you glad? So
Yeah, definitely.
where you're moving to, the one that you end up in, you're going to be so thrilled to death. You're going to be able to use your creativity. You're going to be able. People are going to listen to you. They're going to like your point of view that you bring to things. It's going to be a whole different animal than where you came from.
Fantastic. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Hey, good luck to you. I'm excited about
Thank
that.
you. Me too.
And Lisa, we're going to try and fit, because that went fast, we're going to try to fit one more person in, and then that'll be it for the evening.
Well, who wants to pay Lisa $1,000 to get called on? Okay, our last person tonight is, yeah, I love money, is going to be Carolyn, is a lucky person. Carolyn, can you unmute?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, Carolyn. How are you?
Fine, thank you. I'm calling from Baltimore, Maryland. I am a Cancer, and I'm really grateful for my adult son who lives with us. He has been so helpful lately. Um, and it's also, um, he has to do with my question. My adult son and my 10-year-old grandson live with us, and they're wonderful here. I love them here, but they're both in transition places. My son lost his job. He was laid off, and so he's in the process of looking for a new job quite unexpectedly. And also, my son is having some issues at school. My grandson is having issues at school. So we're going through my son looking for a job and my grandson, we're deciding whether we need to homeschool him or what we need to do to support him. So I'm wondering if you have any thoughts on their transitions, because they both seems to be in
I'm
that
going to start with
transition part.
I'm going to start with your grandson first.
Hmm.
I think that, homeschooling might be an easy solution, you see, but it's not the right solution to the kid.
Mm.
Your grandson shows up right over here as this Saturn in Pisces. I don't know what his sun sign is, but he's showing up as Saturn in Pisces.
Yeah, they're both Taurus.
Okay, but this doesn't have to do with what he is. It has to do
Okay.
with how he's showing up right now in his life. Okay.
Hmm.
And what that tells me, with my guides being astrologers, what that tells me is that right now in his life, that grandson learns differently. His
Hmm.
mind works differently. Okay. He's not doing well in that system because they're wanting him to think and act like this. And his natural way of thinking and acting is all the way over here, you see?
Exactly.
But he does need the socialization,
Yeah, that's
you
true.
see? So the problem with homeschooling him is that, okay, you can let him learn his way, but there's no socialization.
Right.
So I'm going to look at the possibility of your looking into different programs that you could get him into, maybe a school that's not a straight public school, a
Hmm.
school that address, like I don't know, I don't have kids your kids your grandkids age. The thing is that when I was teaching way back when, they had Montessori schools. They
Right.
had schools that allowed children to think in different ways, and this does have to do with your grandson being the Taurus. He will not bend. Taurians don't bend. The
Oh, you're
world is going to
exactly
bend to
right.
them. So he's not going to bend.
Hmm.
So he's either going to go through school being the resistive negative personality that you're seeing right now, because he's not going to do what they tell him because they're stupid. Okay. And now what you can do at home is maybe to sit and talk to him and say, hey, we know that they're stupid, but we also need to get you through this year with this teacher. Okay. If you have to leave him in public school, there are some things that you can do. You can get him into, I'm looking at this, you can get him, he's very physical and he's good. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? He has a natch. He's a natural athlete. So find out what he likes to do in terms of athletics and
Hmm.
funnel him in that direction, even if you have to do it as an after school project, because he will do trades And if he really wants to go to that basketball match and learn to be good enough to be first string, which he will, he knows that he has to be able to get at least a D on that test.
Right. Okay. I see
Okay?
that.
So if you leave him in public school, they're going to have to be trades.
Okay.
Okay. And you know, treat him, even though he's young, treat him like an adult because he's not a stupid boy, you
Right.
see? And if he knows that you agree with him, that the system is not working for him because he thinks differently, it doesn't make him stupid, it makes them weird. But he can actually work with them because he's smart enough to do it. And if you
Okay.
approach him from that point of view, he will be able to buckle down. He'll hate it. He's not going to like school, at least not at this stage.
Right.
You may also be able to talk to or get your son, it wouldn't be your position, I don't think, but get your son to talk to the teacher and say, you know, what kind of projects can you give my son that would be more creative, more intuitive?
Mm-hmm.
Because this is what he's rebelling against. You know, you've got a kid there that the teacher says, okay, I want you to solve this problem and do it by, you know, 3:30. And at 3:15, he's got the problem solved because he did it all in his head. And then the teacher says, I can't accept that. I want to see the work. And he says, but that's the right answer. And the teacher says, no, it doesn't show the work. You see? So, you know, you've got a smart kid that doesn't fit the system.
Right.
And the teachers are going to have to be in on it in order to understand that. And
Okay.
if you can do that, the kid will be able to make it through public school. If not, you might have to move him to a private school.
Okay.
Okay. And again, I wouldn't suggest the homeschooling because that cuts out the sports, and that's so much, it's so important to him.
Okay.
Now, as far as your son is concerned, right now he's at the poor me stage. You know, what am I going to do? Nobody loves me, blah, 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 blah. He's a year from now, he's going to be, my God, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. I really didn't need to be in that company doing that work. He was being used and abused and taken advantage of where he was.
Mm.
And, you know, it's interesting because he's the guy that is very loyal and
Mm-hmm.
would give more to the company than the company would give to him. And so that whatever happened with that job that he's not employed anymore, that was like a kick to the belly for him. Okay.
Yes.
And he needs to get past that because we're just living in a different world right now where companies, people, the loyalty that used to be there isn't there right now. In the future, it will be. So that's not a part of himself he needs to destroy, but he needs to put it on a shelf and let it be for a while. He's going to get past it. He will find a job where he's working for people who give him the consideration that he gives them. And, you know, for him, it's almost more important for him to do that, to be working for those people that he can respect than it is to have a job that's a super high paying job. So you see,
True.
his personality is in the process of changing big time right now. He's
Okay.
extremely handy. He needs recognition for what he does. And if he gets recognition and he's able to utilize those creative skills in what he does, whether it's mental or physical, he's going to be happy with the job. And you need to tell him he can apply for other things. He doesn't have to go back into what he was doing before. He is multi-talented. He can do so many things. What is it that he wants to do?
Well, he really wants to be in IT, but he has ADD and he's having, he's just not into college classes. So without having a degree, sometimes you get weeded out of job interviews. They'll go immediately to the people with the degree, but to do the job, you don't need the degree. You need the certifications that he has.
Well,
Um,
would you be interested in knowing that the people that I happen to know that make the most money, like one guy who makes $40 million a month and dropped
mm,
out of high school at 16,
yeah,
and he
yeah,
did it marketing on the
mm,
internet.
okay,
Okay. What I'm going to suggest to your son is that he starts taking classes, not in a university. They're going to go away anyway. Thank you, God. You just told me that one. That's interesting. Universities are going to change. But what he needs to do is he needs to go and he needs to study the things he wants to be able to do with his IT.
right,
And then he needs to get involved with them while he's off, while he's not working. He needs to figure out who to get involved with, that he has the skills that he can work with them. He doesn't need the degree. He needs the skill.
right, okay,
Okay. In working for an IBM or working for a General Electric, you need the certificate. They really don't care if you have the skill. They just need you to put the certificate on the wall. But the ones who are actually making the big money in our world, they're not concerned with the certificate. They're concerned with the ability.
Okay. Do you see a time frame by any chance with him?
Okay. Wow. My guides are saying that he's got the skills. He could get started in this tomorrow if he knew where to go with it.
Okay.
You see?
Well, he
And
has a couple of irons in the fire, so I'm just, but
yeah,
when I do his reading so many
the
times, he
problem,
gets
the
a little
problem
hard.
is that right now he's being taken advantage of. The irons in the fire, he's being taken advantage of by friends who want to use his skills to give them money.
Okay.
Okay? That's not what he needs to do. What he
Mm,
needs to do is to get on board with somebody. I would suggest that he takes some marketing courses with entrepreneurs online, people like, and I'm just going to throw names out, and Eben Pagan or Christian Michelson. He needs to take those classes to get to know the people and then say, okay, where can I go from here that I can utilize these skills? And they're going to
mm,
tell him because that's what they do. They coach you and tell you how to find your way through this. Okay. He
okay.
needs to get out of the collegiate system. And unfortunately, and I hate to be like this, but he needs to find a new group of friends. And I think that was part of the problem he had before. People give him the pat on the back and he'll do anything for him. He rolls over, pat my belly. The thing is that he needs to stop being that person and start to realize that just because somebody is his friend and says, I admire you so much, you do this so well, will you build my business for me? And the guy who ends up making the money isn't him.
Mm-hmm.
You see, he's doing so many free things for people. It's absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's great and wonderful. But when the pay is merely a pat on the back, it doesn't count. He needs
Right.
to, all this is happening right now so that he does land in the job that he really needs, that he can build into something special and really become who he's supposed to be. Like I
Right.
said, it's going to be a couple of years from now, he's going to look back and say, that time period when I was off, that was the best thing that could have possibly happened to me because I really, really found faith in myself and learned that I could take my skills anywhere.
Wow. Great. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
You're welcome. That was a good note to end on. And folks, I'm going to see you again on December 10th. And then we're going to really have our holiday celebration because we're going to be right on top of Christmas at that point. And I'll also be telling you about what's coming up after the new year. But don't forget, if you want to sign up for my psychic development program, if you have those abilities and skills, you need to do that. You need to do it now because that special discount isn't going to be there forever. Okay. I'll see you next month. And a few of you I'll see before then. And you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the month until we meet again. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for joining me.